What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to episode number 28 of our Pittsburgh Pirates franchise. We are here again with another MLB The Show 21 franchise video. As you can see, the Pittsburgh Pirates are currently 57-61. That is good enough for third place in the NL Central as we are climbing our ways back further and further into this playoff contention race. Hopefully that we can make the playoffs, as we are going to be taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers in the next set of the series. But before we do that, I wanted to kind of take an episode and talk about each player's individual performances, how these guys have been playing, performing, and then really talk about what we expect out of some of these players as we get closer and closer into the end of the season. A lot of these guys definitely have been outdoing themselves. Some of them maybe a little bit underperforming, but we are going to get into that all today. But before you guys do, if you guys did enjoy today's video, be sure to leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more amazing content, because only you can make a difference for today's channel, so your support is always greatly appreciated. And with that being said, guys, let's get right into today's video. And first batter that we are going to be talking about is middle infielder Kevin Newman, the 27-year-old righty. He is going to be sitting at a .288 average with an OPS at 750. Kevin Newman has been quite the hitting sensation for the Pittsburgh Pirates in the amount of games that he has played. He has been quite exceptional in 485 plate appearances. He has 130 hits, knocking 27 doubles on 3 triples, 9 home runs, and 36 RBIs. He has been quite a player to have, definitely having an outgoing season so far. Hopefully, along the lines you can see in 2019, this is a very similar season that he's had. Not quite as good as what he was in 2019, but definitely the Kevin Newman that we want to have so far in this season. And of course, a fan favorite in Pittsburgh, the center fielder, the man that we got through the Andrew McCutchen trade to the San Francisco Giants. That is going to be Bryan Reynolds. Also, along with that trade was Kyle Crick, who we will be getting into a bit later in the season, as we're going to talk about the performances we have got from those players that have been within that trade a couple years back, as Bryan Reynolds has hit 12 home runs so far in 425 at-bats, has struck out 75 times, so the strikeout numbers are a bit up, but he has been playing a pretty decent ball. Definitely not the best season out of Bryan Reynolds, but he has been quite a player for us with a 763 OPS, not to mention earlier in the season, if you guys check out that video earlier where we did a bunch of the re-signings, Bryan Reynolds was a player that we extended the maximum volume of his contract, so I do believe we will be having Reynolds the whole way into 2025, so it'll be a nice acquisition to have of Bryan Reynolds, the star center fielder here in Pittsburgh. And the man, the myth, the legend himself, the Pittsburgh Kid, Neil Walker, the switch-hitting batter, has had quite a revival season here in Pittsburgh, as now with 20 home runs on the season, Neil Walker is going to be ranking 18th all-time for the Pittsburgh Pirates home run leaders. He's going to have a total of 113 home runs wearing a Pittsburgh Pirates uniform. That is going to put him above some of the notable players on that legendary team, especially some of those players that were a part of the 1971 to the 79 reign of those guys, as Neil Walker also has an OPS of a career high at an 867, so quite the signing. And it always seems like whenever we bring on to Neil Walker, we have something amazing to talk about. He has been walking, he has been hitting for extra bases, he's not really striking out, the slugging over 500 this season, just an absolute amazing sign to have. So Neil Walker, again, what a season, this final season probably for him, as he's going to enter. Hopefully we can push the postseason and have Neil Walker have one more postseason chance with the Buccos. A little bit of hot coffee in the morning. El Coffee, Gregory Polanco is going to be the next guy that we are talking about. An even 777 OPS with 22 home runs on the season. The slugging has been something that he's been doing. Quite a power hitter, but this season so far, a lot of strikeouts. The average is low, and that's kind of around the Polanco season, but he's having an even lower average than normal. Usually he's hovering in that 240, mid-240s to the lower 250s range. As you can see in his career, he averages about a 245 average. So as he heads into that age 30 season, this is a guy that, the average is down, but he is hitting home runs. Hopefully Polanco can have a resurgence in August. 22 home runs, probably going to end up being a guy that hits maybe 30 home runs on the season, but so far he has been better than what we expected. This was a guy that we didn't really plan on re-signing, and he's kind of making a push to maybe be that fourth outfielder if we can get a decent signing in the postseason, but only time will tell with Gregory Polanco. Now talking about one of the bigger acquisitions of the season that the Pirates have made so far this season is Franmill Reyes. Franmill really hasn't held his own so far in a Pirates uniform. I don't know if it's because he is forced to play a little more of the field in the NL Central area, but the 25-year-old right-handed batter, the outfielder, is so far hitting 9 home runs on the season, an ERA or an average just over the Mendoza line at a 2.08, and the slugging is only a 343 with an OPS equaling at a 646. Not really the best out of Franmill Reyes. Hopefully we can find the power numbers. Hopefully he can kind of start getting in the swing of things and becoming a little more of an impact bat, because between him and Tristan McKenzie, we did give up a lot to have these two players on our team to be impact players. So we're hoping later on throughout the season, here very soon, Franmill can start putting him over the wall and becoming that impact performer. Now diving into the Pittsburgh prodigy, young Hayes, Brian Hayes, that is. He is going to be sitting at a 778 OPS with 10 home runs on the season, sitting that average at a 274 with 10 stolen bases. Like we have said, guys, the idea of Brian Hayes was to have around a 2020 season. Entering the month of August, he has 10 home runs on 10 stolen bases, only 5 caught stealing. So Brian Hayes trying to maybe push for that. That is our own personal goal with Brian Hayes. He is looking pretty decent as well, having over 100 hits so far in 390 at-bats, with 20 of them being doubles and 6 triples. He has been quite the performer and pretty much a very, very well-balanced player. We don't have to talk about the defense because we know Brian has been just that good so far on the field. Definitely the future of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Not much more else we can say about Brian Hayes. Here is a man that kind of came out of nowhere to be in a Pittsburgh Pirates uniform. That was top prospect Diego Flores. Flores has put up quite a season so far in his rookie campaign so far in just 123 at-bats. He has 28 hits on the season, 6 of them being over the wall, an OPS over a 700 at a 733, and a slugging over 400 at a 407. The average is low right now, but we do know this is a guy that can be a pretty consistent hitter. Sitting in a slump, he was doing well in AAA. Since being called up, he has performed pretty good in between him and Ryan O'Hearn, platooning in the first base spot, as Colin Moran was traded, being a part of that Cleveland Indians deal, sending over Tristan McKenzie and Franmill Reyes, as mentioned before. Diego Flores hoping to continue this rookie campaign and maybe get that average up just a bit more. And minor league sensation John Ryan Murphy, since getting called up, was having a amazing AAA season. Things have finally started to simmer down as John Ryan Murphy sitting at a 218 average. The OPS still nearing that 700 mark despite the low average, just because the power has been there. Murphy has had that surprise pop for the Pirates so far. 2020 season was a little bit worse. This one's starting to kind of bloom into a little bit of a better one. Hopefully that average can get up. Between him and Stallings, it has really been a frustrating race to see which player is actually going to be maintaining that catcher's role. The defense of Murphy is good, but Stallings' defense is that much better. Stallings has been a little more streaky than Murphy, but Murphy has been streaky as well. It has kind of been a mess so far in the catchers, so hopefully they can start producing a little bit better. And next guy that we are going to be talking about is one of the fan favorites of the Pittsburgh Pirates, and that is Adam Frazier. Super utility man. Adam Frazier is not really much of a starter for us in this season. He has definitely been utilized as that starting backup utility guy. He has played short, he has played second, he has played third, he has played all the outfield spots. We have used Adam Frazier to his fullest extent, and even off the bench, he has given us an OPS over 700. Not really the best we want to see him out of him, but he is producing pretty well. He is getting on base. He is hitting home runs, surprisingly. So Adam Frazier, super utility man. Loving to have him here in another beautiful season here in Pittsburgh as Adam Frazier continues to blossom. And if you haven't heard about him, you will now. Ryan O'Hearn has been quite the impact player for the Pirates in just the 20 ABs that he has had. He has 5 hits so far with the club. 3 of them have been over the wall. He has 2 walks on 6 RBIs with a 250 average and an OPS over 1,000 and a slugging, you guessed it, at a 750. He has been an absolute monster. Out of those 5 hits, 4 of them are for extra bases. So Ryan O'Hearn, since being acquired from the Kansas Kansas City Royals trade, also getting back Cole Tucker and getting a pretty decent prospect outfielder in that trade has been quite a win from the Pirates. That is the second trade that we have done against the Royals, as we also got their flame-throwing reliever in Josh Stamont. So the Royals definitely helping out the Pirates in this one, looking good as we head deeper and deeper into the season. And the Pirates also decided to roll with a roster move as we head deeper into the season. We are going to be sending Ji-Hwan Bae down to the AAA minors, as we are going to be calling up the shortstop Cole Tucker. Cole Tucker so far on the season has been playing pretty decent baseball as of late. As you can see, Cole Tucker sitting at a .260 average with an OPS at the .667 range in AAA. He has been a pretty decent player in the 22 games at AAA. He was playing in AA for the Kansas City Royals, so we were able to reacquire him, bring him back to the Berg. So he is actually going to be called into the major leagues, going to get some MLB reps in for him. Wanted to kind of put that one out there as we were talking about the rosters and some of the moves being made. And wrapping things up with the final couple batters of the day, Jacob Stallings is going to be the next guy we're going to be talking about. And like we said, it has definitely been tough sledding for Jacob Stallings. A lot of strikeouts on the season so far, not too many hits, only 64 in the 272 at-bats that he has had. The average is better than John Ryan Murphy's, but that OPS, the power, not been there. More strikeouts as well. So Stallings, it's really been a hard season for him. Hopefully he can bounce back later as the season progresses. Talking about struggles though, Brian Goodwin, another guy that has been struggling. Although the OPS has shown that, really he has only been hitting balls over the wall, and that has really been the only thing that Brian Goodwin has been doing for us in 115 at-bats. This is a guy that has really played into a bunch of different seasons, so hopefully he can bounce things around. But as it's looking, Brian Goodwin probably going to be the next guy to maybe getting sent down for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And we are moving into the pitching side of things. We have talked about pitching all season long and how important it has been for us. And Framber Valdez was a guy that we were supposed to pick up that was going to be a big impact piece for us on the season. But Valdez so far on the season, since being in the black and gold, has definitely struggled. 70 walks in just 137 innings pitched. That is absolutely horrid and scary to see, as that whip is at a 1.62, that ERA jumping up to a 4.33. Strikeout numbers definitely down as much as they are, letting up some hits. Framber Valdez has definitely been a scary guy. Hopefully he can have some rebound seasons as well, as we need Valdez to be on his game if we do try to make this playoff push. Now talking about the rest of the rotation, we have another recently acquired pitcher in Triston McKenzie. As you can tell, the focus of this year's acquisitions in the trade deadline was pitching, as Triston McKenzie has been pretty solid for us despite that ERA over 4. The whip is at a 1.25 in 131 pitches and 2/3 of an innings. He has 104 strikeouts with a 7-6 slash line. He has definitely been a nice position, or a nice pitcher to have. Only 23 years old and plenty of time to blossom. Talking about blossoming, and that is Chad Cole. He has had quite a season as well. An ERA at a 3.33. That is a career low for him, and a whip also at a career low at a 1.27. The strikeout numbers definitely not something that you're going to be expecting too much from Chad Cole, but he has almost 100 of them in 140 innings pitched, and the win-loss ratio is at a 6-8. So Chad Cole definitely having an impact season for him so far in his age 28 season. This is his 5th major league season with the Pittsburgh Pirates club. A lot of that is denoted about the slider knuckle curve combo. Really has bloomed on that one. Tyler Anderson, another guy that we're hoping to kind of have an impact. As you can see, he really hasn't pitched too good in the last couple years. 2017 had an ERA over the 4.83. The whips have been pretty high. This has definitely been one of his rebound seasons. Hasn't really pitched this good since 2016 with Colorado, where that whip was at about a 1.29. This season in Pittsburgh, definitely getting the innings in, getting more strikeouts than we would like. He has let up a decent amount of home runs, but I think we can kind of move past that as long as they're only solo shots, because he really hasn't walked too many batters. That has been one thing that he has been absolutely excellent in. Over 142 innings, only walking 34 batters, looking very well in the season. Talking about very well, Mitch Keller finally finding that groove in the season. Wish this would be real life. but in nearly 120 innings, he's got 110 strikeouts, a whip just under a 1.4 with a 4.14 ERA. The walks, again, not very high for him. Has let up a decent amount of runs. That's just due to the high amount of hits that he's been letting up, but hopefully Mitch Keller can come to form even a little bit more and really turn into that star pitcher that we know he can be for the Pirates. As we end up speed running through the bullpen, first guy that we're going to be talking about is recently called back up Chris Stratton. Stratton, through almost 60 innings of work so far for the Pirates, has definitely been one of those guys. It's nice to have him throw about 2, maybe even 3 innings. He's got 2 saves on the season. That whip at a 1.42 lets up a decent amount of hits. The walks, definitely another thing that has been struggling Stratton so far on the season. Another guy with some struggles is Michael Felix. So far, a whip above a 1.4, an ERA in the 4.3 era in almost 40 innings of work for him as well. He has given up 18 earned runs on only 4 home runs, so the home run numbers have definitely been down for Michael Felix. I don't really know if this is going to be a guy that is going to be coming back entering the 2022 season. Despite what he does, he's just really not a guy that I have found a lot of use for. He doesn't really have a good mix of pitches. The repertoire is not really there. He's 27 years old. He has definitely been one of those guys that has been on and off all season long, so we will see what Felix ends up as the offseason progresses. Moving into Richard Rodriguez, a guy that was getting lit up at the beginning of the season, has kind of shown that maybe those couple games, like we've said before, he is definitely one of those guys. The home runs have hurt him this season, has 10 home runs in the 44 innings he's thrown, but he has matched the 44 innings with 44 strikeouts. The whip isn't that bad despite the high ERA. Hopefully Rich Rod can keep on pitching good. As we talk about Jorge Alcala, the recently acquired guy that we sent over from the Minnesota Twins in regards to sending Danny Santana back there, he has been phenomenal as just a 62 overall 25-year-old. This guy's nearly cracking 100 miles an hour sometimes. The slider is absolutely knockout. The slider or the changeup is really deceiving. He has been great in 17 innings, getting 12 strikeouts, a whip at a 1.29. Good things to see so far from Alcala. As Loaizaga, again, a New York Yankee, we sent Brubaker and a couple other players over there, Chase and Shreve, to get Loaizaga, who has been giving us an amazing season, a lot of innings, nearly giving us 2 innings of work about every single time he is out there. So it is good to see Jonathan Loaizaga coming to form in this one. And now moving into the setup pitchers for this one, Josh Staumont has been exceptional. 70 strikeouts in nearly 70 innings of work, trying to get there. He's about at 68 innings pitched, has a 1-1 win-loss. This is a guy that can probably be the closer to be. Long extension for Josh Staumont as we locked in one of the best relievers in the game, throwing 102 miles an hour, nasty two-seam with some great movement, not to mention a knockout curveball, and a surprise lefty that has been an amazing lefty for us this season in Austin Davis. Low ERA, not allowing a whole lot of hits and walks, only 3 home runs on the season that he has let up, nearly averaging a strikeout per inning. Austin Davis, definitely a guy that was probably not going to be a mainline stay in this bullpen, has really kind of turned that into maybe a guy that could be a solid pitcher for this bullpen. We need solid pitching, and he's definitely someone that has impressed. And talking about impressiveness, Kyle Crick has blown things out of the park. He has worked his way into that closer role for the Pirates, certainly looking well with 8 saves on the season. Does have 4 blown saves, but I think the nerves will get the better of him as we move later into the season. He'll kind of push that past. A whip under a .9, sitting at a .84, not allowing too many home runs, not allowing hits at all. The walks do struggle at times, but the strikeout numbers are there with that nasty knockout slider, as the Pirates have been playing amazing baseball as of late. And that is pretty much going to do it for this video, guys. You can take a quick look, pause the video if you want, for some of these league leaders we're going to be talking about, but that is going to do it for this video. I just wanted to give a quick recap for you guys about some of the players' performances, some of my personal opinions on some things, as we're going to be taking a look, diving into the LA Dodgers series in the next one. Hopefully you guys do enjoy the series. Be sure to leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more amazing content, because only you can make a difference for today's channel. So thank you guys so much for watching. It has been a pleasure making these videos for you guys. You guys have been absolutely killing it. Absolutely did not expect all the love and support you guys have been showing through this series so much and this Pittsburgh Pirates franchise. So I wanted to really give you guys a nod on that one. As we depart onto this video, I will see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.